Somalis in Tibet to Cancun to
China, mate.
China. I mean, so we went to Denmark and my mum got invited to our wedding. And she was like, you know what? We're going to go to the wedding and then we're going to stay.
Not coming back.
Easy up, we're not coming back. That's it.
Welcome to HadalTV. My name is Hassan.
And my name is Ahmed Umar.
We are here to engage
And inspire.
to tell our story. Hi guys, welcome back to HadalTV. On this episode we have Hamdi, a recording artist. Hi sir, welcome to HadalTV.
It's an honor to be here on the first season. I'm here. Amazing. How you guys doing?
We're great, thank you very much.
Mashallah. I'm liking the brown on brown. I'm with it.
Brown on brown.
I'm wearing a hat because it's COVID and I'm letting my hair grow. Yeah.
That's the reason.
Not really. I've got a show coming up at the end of the month.
Okay.
So I'm just leaving my hair till then.
Is that with crowd or without crowd?
Without. It's an online show.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask you online.
It's going to be an online show.
How are you finding it?
What, finding shows or COVID or?
Doing shows or is this the first show you did since?
Yeah, so the last show I had was in the summer actually. I had a show, I was playing a festival, Reading and Leeds.
Okay.
I was on at the same time as Billie Eilish on BBC Introducing the Stage, which meant I only had like 4 or 5 people at the front.
Yeah.
And they're all mainly just young teenage girls. And it was like, cool, I just got to do the best of what I got. So I just did my thing. Yeah, so since then, I've not had any gigs. I was supposed to go on tour in March, like 5 dates. So Manchester, Liverpool, London, and Bristol.
Okay.
Cancelled. As soon as COVID hit, cancelled. And then I had another show in London in April, cancelled. So all in all, like 5 or 6 shows, just out of the window. That's it. Back to basics.
It's crazy how we just went straight into COVID and how everything's been cancelled from the get.
Yo, cancelled.
That's mad.
I was like,
That's mad.
even I was working, so apart from music, I work as an educational practitioner.
Okay.
Because I've spent a few years working as a TA and also head of year at a high school in mainstream education. So my bread and butter literally went out the window. Yeah. I was working in Oldham and then it was like, yeah, schools are closing. You have to figure out something else to do, you know what I mean?
That's mad.
So yeah, that's been my story since COVID really, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's take it back a notch.
Yeah.
In terms of, who Hamdi is,
Yeah.
I mean, were you born in Manchester? Have you always grown
No,
up here?
I feel like I was born in Manchester, but I'm not. I was born in Somalia. Moved to Denmark.
Where about Somalia?
So I'm a northerner, so I'm from the north. I'm Somali Wayne, so whichever affiliations you have, it's all love. But I'm from somewhere near Las Arnold called Bohorle.
Okay.
So Selag Yain. And yeah, that's where I'm from. But we all know the typical Somali story. The 90s happened, everyone got off.
Sad times.
Yeah, sad times. Everyone, everywhere. Everyone went everywhere.
So true.
I'm sure you can find Somalis in Tibet, to Cancun, to
China, mate.
China. I mean, so we went to Denmark and my mum got invited to our wedding. And she was like, you know what? We're going to go to the wedding and then we're going to stay.
Not coming back.
Easy up, we're not coming back. That's it.
Probably the best thing she's ever made.
Yo, for real. She had me walking, my middle brother in a pram. I'm pregnant with my youngest brother. True grafter. I want to make a film about her because her story alone.
I'm telling
it's
you.
just full of, and not only just my own mother, but all Somali mothers.
You know what? Yeah, I mean.
From a certain time.
We were talking earlier on off camera earlier on about the stories, like people fleeing war. Do you know what I mean? The stories they have, it's unreal. It's something that basically individually we know about parents.
Yeah.
But they went through a journey, so I mean, just to get away from all that nonsense happening in the 90s to where they are now. which is really like untold stories, really.
Untold, full of gold.
Yeah,
Like it's like Hollywood material, I think.
I'm
Netflix material.
telling you, and I'd be very excited to see that story if you tell about your mum.
Yeah, I feel like the diaspora is big enough to have a box office hit.
Yeah.
All the diaspora came out, spent the money to see the tickets. Obviously, when COVID restrictions are gone, and just support it, I think it'd be great. So yeah, just kind of like that's my story coming into Denmark. Denmark's a whole other story in itself. It could probably be a whole episode of its own, but spent like 10 years there. I then came to Manchester, Mossad in like 2001.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old were you then?
I was 11, wet behind the ears, yo. I was like, what? What are these smells, yo? What are these sounds? What's this? Why you got a knife to my throat asking for money? What's going on?
Straight like
Yo,
initiation.
wow, G, what you got there? I'm like,
That wasn't you, I said, was it?
it didn't look like Hassan. Hassan's a good looking guy. This guy did not look good. So I was like, yo, what's going on? Because I've come from private education, rich white kids, even to a point where I felt like I wasn't even Somali anymore. I was like just another kid with blonde hair, blue eyes, and I'm like, yo, I come to Mossad and I'm like, there's black people. There's chicken and chips. It was jerk chicken, reggae, grime. My head popped. I was like, whoa, I have to wear uniform to school. Well, you get fed at school for free. Yo, I'm like, yo, I need, like, it was brand new to me. And for my ADD brain, like, change is always good. So I was like, you know what? School, what's going on in school? I meet everyone. I met Spider at school. I met his older brother at school. I met so many people I know now who I consider friends and brothers at school. And then from there on, I just, do the typical IC-free life, you know what I mean? Just figuring out life on the streets, figuring out what I want and what I don't want. And here I am, like, another 15, 17, 18 years later, still alive and breathing, you get me?
So you came here, you had that mad culture shock with the music, the genres and everything. What were you listening to before in Denmark?
So with Denmark, we get to Denmark, I'm like, alright, cool, go nursery, go primary school, get kicked out of primary school. Because I'm getting bullied and I'm not taking it. So I'm like, yo, I have to defend myself. Because obviously, you know what Somali parents are like. You come home, you got a battered, bruised like face and hoya abba like, alright. Oh, what are you so dilly about? What are you? Dad, so noqotid. Adigo aan wax soo dilin. Guriga ku soo noqon.
Got sent back out, mate.
Yeah. So with that mentality, I got kicked out again. And then my mum had to pay half of the tuition, and the local council had to pay half of the tuition for private school. And now I'm like exposed to a whole different life. Like the craziest thing is I went to private school and people are more receptive to me. They're more like curious about where I'm from, why this part of my palm is white and this part is brown. Like what's going on with that? They were like, are you good at anything? And I was like, before that, I spent a whole year not in school. Both my parents were working. I was at home watching MTV. Every 8 hours, 9 hours a day.
Yeah, them days where MTV was like
98, 97, 96.
You could just watch MTV all day. Man.
All day.
They were the days, bro. You didn't have to watch a movie.
But
MTV
I'm in
was
Denmark though, so we're not getting no music of black origin. We're not.
The same here. MTV was kicking.
But if you're in the UK,
you had more.
You had more.
Yeah.
You were definitely going to see some garage. You were going to see some reggae at least.
We had probably MTV Base here.
MTV Base here, yeah. You're talking about just MTV.
I'm telling you, I'm in Denmark. I'm in a rural little town with like little satellite kind of thing, and it's like you're only getting a set amount of channels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're only getting a set amount of channels, and MTV is as white as this table, bro.
Damn. Like I thought you were talking about MTV Base.
Nah, MTV Base is the 2000s, baby.
Yeah, like
this is before 2000.
Yeah, but them days we had like so much. We had like so solid.
But we had Michael Jackson though. Michael Jackson is the guy who basically I was like, I want to be like this.
Yeah, I think he was kind of the first people that kind of took black music to MTV and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, what music was I listening to before coming here? All the boy bands, all the girl bands. I was playing ABBA I was playing the Beatles. I was part of a band, multiple bands. My mum would come to the shows,
Mad.
and I'd see her doing this.
Who was your favourite girl band at the time?
Obviously, I met Spice Girls, innit? I was young. I'm not even gassing it. This is real
Oh
life.
my god, they were
Wait,
big
you
man.
met the Spice
Yeah, they
Girls?
came to my school, to the private school.
Shit.
So
So
they were massive.
I know
So
they
they
were.
were touring. They were touring everywhere, bro. Moving on from that, yeah, it's just very pop. It's just purely pop. Like the only thing of black origin was like my older cousins had Usher. What's that? What's the album with the number?
8701 is it?
There you go.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Heavy album.
For my time.
Nah, you defo know that one.
I'm joking.
You defo know that one.
He's lying.
You
bro.
got it. You got it. Man.
I'm not exposing my hard drive right now.
Another one. You remind me of another girl.
Yeah, you remind me of another girl, yo.
yeah, I
That
know.
scene,
Yeah.
that scene in the rain, bro, when he's doing the twist and that,
Yeah.
and the guitar solo, bro.
Listen, everyone play that guitar, mate.
Yo, for real.
Air guitar.
Yo, that guitar solo was serious. But that's what was in my head.
Yeah.
That was in my head. And
You know what? Yeah, that 1998. Like when you're talking about, you listen to them bands. Like there was music out in the UK at the time.
Yeah.
I remember like that, especially that 99 summer, 98 summer. I mean, that's when Dre dropped his 2001 album.
Yeah.
Every household you walk past, you just listen to that. It's still Dre beat. That ding, 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 ding. You can hear that from every car and every house. And I remember that same summer as well. It was that beat and Whitney Houston's My Love Is Your Love. That beat.
Yo.
Tin,
My
tin,
love is
tin,
your
that
love.
beat.
Oh my
You can see it
God.
from every window. You just walk past people's houses.
Man.
That was on. They were the
Special
days.
time,
Oh,
yeah.
they were the days.
Special time.
They were
I
the
soaked
days.
all of that up. Come to the UK and it's like no one plays in bands. Everyone spits. And it's like, rah, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I'm used to going somewhere and actually having access to equipment, having access to so many different things because it was a well-off school. So like we were editing videos before it was a thing, like making like Jackass from Jackass, doing like little spoofs of that, getting pushed down the stairs on a trolley and that. We were doing all of that. And then I come to the UK and it's like, yo, I had to spend. I remember the first week I had to spend the night inside of a like social, like you know DSS. To spend a night inside one of them because they wouldn't house us.
Okay.
Like when you come to the country, it's like yo, emergency housing. Nah, ain't gonna help you out. So it took a while before we actually got settled. I remember coming to my side and thinking, yo, what am I gonna do about music? And then
So you're thinking music about that time as well?
oh yeah, I'm always thinking about music because that was the thing that gave me any kind of like social standing within like the circles I was with. I was good at football. I was good at music. If I weren't good at those two, I'd just been in the background. I'd just been beefing people all day long. But because I was good at that, I was like, oh H, come to my birthday party. Oh H, come on to the yacht. We're having a party this weekend. I'm going from my Hoyer's house to these rich people's houses, thinking, yo, what is this? What life is this? Different. Girl trying to lips you up and then I'm like, yo, calling my mum's phone saying, can Hamdi come to my house? And she's like, why do you keep asking Hamdi to come to your house to spend the night? What's going on? And she knew it was a bit funny. So like, not to like spend too much time in Denmark, but like, yeah, I come to the UK and I was like, I have to start from scratch. I meet everyone through school and then I meet people through like football and going to the five-a-side when it was bricks. And it was like just having to start from fresh again. Like start with football. I quickly realised the standard of football in Denmark and the standard of football in the UK was different. Realised how rough it was. Yeah, I realised how rough it was.
Brutal. No enjoyment at all.
No enjoyment at all. I meet like Fuad, Osman, he used to run some of the football provision. And I just get to know people, man. Get to know people and from there on, it's just like, all right, cool. What's this whole like Manchester, especially the whole Dunchester kind of thing and the gangs and stuff are kind of coming towards the tail end of that and actually seeing people with weapons and seeing factions and being told, yo, if you go to that ends and you can't see you from there. And that whole kind of mentality was brand new to me. And that's the first time I started to understand, no, yo, I could actually
Things are
get hurt.
different,
Yeah, I could actually get hurt here. You know, if I'm not careful. So, yeah, so that's kind of like been my trajectory to kind of the transition between Denmark and here.
What's been like your earliest memories of being in Manchester, in Moss Side? What would you say was your highlights or your challenges?
Yo, like the highlights I think was like hearing like bare bashment. I step out of the cafe. I'm like, yo.
Pull it up.
Everyone's got, for real. Everyone's got systems that are like staying up at night and just hearing it all. Do you know what I mean?
Non-stop.
And it's like, yo, what is this? Because my side back in early 2002, 2001 is very different from what it is now.
Yeah, it is now, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like just experiencing that. And also like, just to kind of touch on it, like a lot of Somali people, when we first moved to them, were like, yo, let's get it out here. Let's get it out here, that's controlling camp. And I was like, but they haven't done me anything wrong. So what's really going on? And only in my adult life have I actually understood, just like Scary Spice, there's some higher kind of, there's some higher, not even politics, but there's a higher things going on that only when you've actually matured as an adult, as a person, you start to understand why these things are. So for me, some of the highlights are just the sounds, the smells, and just being around other Somali people, you know. Because most of the times I was the only black kid in the situation. I grew up with my cousins in Somalia and in Denmark, and they were well known just for being themselves. And then whenever I used to go to youth clubs, they'd be like, "Oh, they're such and such cousin," and then I'd get to know I'd meet new people. So for me, it was just like the smells, the sounds, but also you kind of like figuring yourself out at the same time. And obviously you've got Hoya, who's like super scared and like just because you're like, yo, what's going on? Like, I'm trying to protect them.
Yeah, don't know what's going on.
Yeah, so
new environment.
Yeah, brand new environment. So I was like, okay, cool. What can I do to kind of just take all of this in? And I just spent most of the time listening to music, you know. Yeah, and just being around the small circle of friends that I was getting to know and kind of just finding my feet again, really. Yeah.
So growing up and you're starting to find your feet here in Manchester, in Moss Side, like what was the drive? What was the ambition? Was it to like, you know, high school, college, uni, get a degree, or was it more like, I'm gonna do that anyways because that's what, you know, Hoya or Alba wants? Or did you have other avenues that you wanted to really pursue?
From young, I've always been told about stories about my granddad and people back home and how much they've actually achieved and stuff, and kind of like the type of pedigree that I come from. So my parents always had a high standard for me. I think going to like high school and coming from like a really informal education back in Denmark, come to something really formal, gave me something to work towards. So I remember being in school year 8, year 9, and cleaning it up at the end of the year assemblies, cleaning it up, bro. From art to maths, cleaning it up. Year 8, year 9, I was cleaning up. I was taking all the certificates home. Come year 10, that's when my teenage years kicked in and I got caught wagging it by my mum at a bus stop. Imagine wagging it.
Which bus stop is this?
Yo, near Royal Northern College of Music.
I've heard that word for a long time.
Do you know what wagging it is? Oh man.
Listen, all the people gonna comment underneath it is the people who know what wagging is.
Yeah,
mate.
for real. Definitely dates, man. So you know how old I am now. Yeah, so like for me, I think the drive came from just wanting to attain and being competitive.
Yeah.
Playing football with the guys in the Sunday League was also quite competitive. But I always had like an innate feeling of like wanting to be great, because from young I've been told about people who came before me who had been great in their own way. But funnily enough, you know, my mum telling me I couldn't do certain things also was a massive motivator. Massive motivator. Because my mum was like, music's haram, can't do music, leave it alone. You left it in Denmark, don't go back to it. And I'm like, nah.
the little Hamdi inside.
Yo, for real. The little Hamdi inside is like, nah, man, you can't tell me no. And I've still got that about me to this day, but I'm a bit more mature. But being told no was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong.
Mm.
So I went through the whole education system knowing that I wasn't gonna do anything with my degree, and I just seen it through.
What did you do?
I did finance.
Oh,
Yeah. I did a finance degree.
it's quite useful.
Yeah, I went on to like a graduate scheme at one of the top 4 accounting firms and did like a whole year of doing facts and coffees, and quickly realised as a black man in those areas you got to do certain things I weren't really prepared to do. So I was like, you know what, I want to go into education instead, because I've always been interested in service and giving service. So yeah, like I think the combination of wanting better for myself, but also understanding the expectations from my parents, I was like, I could do the education with my eyes closed, but I also want to focus on some of the things I want to do. So essentially, it's always been, I've always been quite competitive in life, and I've always wanted to kind of achieve more. And I feel like my parents instilled that when I was quite young, telling me the stories about my granddads and kind of like, you know, the clan system and how the people before me had achieved certain things. I remember, like, the nursery teachers would always tell my parents, like, your son's always talking about his granddad and stuff, and he was really inspired by them, and that's left something within me till this day, really. It's just like the
It's important.
constant. Yeah.
It's important,
Yeah, no, it's definitely important. It's, you know, if I ever feel unmotivated, I'll just have to listen to my mum's voice in my head, and it's like, come on. Khalas, let's go. So yeah, even through COVID, like my whole routine's changed. Like I'm an early riser now, super early riser. Like 6 a.m. I'm up, run to gym, do gym, come back, be ready for work for 9, and then finish my day. So yeah, I think COVID's been the best thing that's happened to me for a while, you know.
I think it has for a lot of people.
Yeah.
For some, maybe not so great.
I know.
But I feel like for most people, it's giving them focus.
Trim the fat.
Well,
Trim the fat.
Not in this part.
Yeah, some people have put on some fat, but
Yeah.
it's definitely trim the fat metaphorically, man.
Yeah, of course.
I think it's like, because people had a lot of time to think in it, you know, especially the first lockdown, when it was like 4 weeks, or was it 5 weeks or something like that?
Yeah.
When we were all that whole, it kind of give you a perspective of where you are in life and what you want to do and stuff like that. So you had a lot of time to think, because especially like, there's a lot of people who don't take it very seriously, you know, during the even the lockdown. But like for me, it's like I took it very, very seriously.
Yeah.
And it kind of give you like, right, what am I gonna do now? Like, do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just kind of, because you stopped. It's time to think and say, right, what's next?
Yeah.
What do you want? What's my next move? Do you know what I mean? I've done this for X amount about years, this or this and that. So like, it's kind of like restart, isn't it?
Yeah.
And now I think like a lot of people that's the reason why we're doing this TV show as well. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's something that we talked about, but we just like never.
I think it's because we were on strict lockdown that we couldn't actually physically get together. But no, in all seriousness, so you know, you finished uni.
Yeah.
You know, you've done your graduate placement and everything, and you thought, nah, this is not for me, kind of thing. And then how did this progress? Or were you always like producing in your early years, or was it just after that, or like how did that come about?
So my younger brother got a laptop from school, and that became my laptop.
Free laptops.
Yeah, free laptops. Remember them?
Toshiba.
Yeah, the Toshibas.
You're supposed to give it back.
Yeah, it never happened. It never happened. Yeah, so one of the laptops actually.
That's the worst idea they ever did.
I think it's a great idea.
No, I mean like to get it back.
Yeah, eventually the laptop we had went back. But I think what helped me was I'd spend lunchtimes at music department at school. So that's what I was doing. So I'd be like, all right, cool. Do I go play football or do I go on Cubase 1 and 8 beats? And I'd spend year 8, year 9, year 10 just doing that. And then I did GCSE music, did that. And then, laptop, Trinity House, for those who remember. Just go to Trinity House loads, make beats, get on the decks and whatever. And then throughout the whole time, I was just finding ways to kind of just make music. Yeah, just making music. Got to uni, so I wanted to do sound engineering. This is a funny story. I wanted to do sound engineering, right? My mum finds out, tells all the dads in town here to come find me, harass me, and tell me to change my course. Wallahi, I'm not lying to you.
Oh my
I walk
God.
down Clement Road and get stopped at least by 5 people, fam.
No
Hey,
way.
Shake the Cody.
Cool there.
Cody. Inaad music inaad doonayso inaad baratid.
Labada.
Waxaan ku sheegi lahaa ra'yigaaga. Way wacan tahay laakiin wax kala dhig. I'm like, way other, waad mahadsantahay insha Allah. So I had to buckle under pressure and do finance.
Wow.
For real.
What a change.
But this is not checkers, this is checkmate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use my student finance to do a Pro Tools course, which is like a professional audio tracking software. Learn how to use that, and then found other guys who were interested in music, and opened up a studio in town. Had that for a few years, and then I kind of separated ways with those guys, and then in the meantime though, I'm always creating. And I never felt like I was quite ready yet, up until I was like 24, 25.
I think I'll come. Obviously, I known you. We always been around each other and stuff like that. But I knew you were into music.
Do
you know what I mean? Like I actually seen his track. I don't know where I've seen the video of it. I think it was Deen. And that took me back. I was like, wow, this is a track. And then I was listening to it like constantly around work and stuff like that. And then next minute I heard in the BBC Extra, and there's a young artist from Manchester, Hamdi, bang, and he's on. And I was like, you know what? I actually love that track. And you know, I always wanted to see what you do next. And I think the tracks after that, obviously, it's all been really good tracks. I can't remember the second track you did, where you were playing a piano in there.
Oh yeah, Good You.
Another good track.
Good You.
And like the last one that I see so much called Running. Amazing.
Future,
I'm actually a fan of your music.
Thank you so much for that. Yeah, we've all known each other for a long time. Don't let this gas you. We've known each other for a time. But like,
actually, genuinely, I actually like the music.
Thank you so much.
It's something that, you know, like today's music is different. Especially with all this drill and all this madness. I can't listen to all that stuff.
Can you not?
Nah.
You don't like Joe?
No, it's like, it's bits and bits.
Okay.
But there's not too much of it.
So imagine you're like 14, What were you listening to?
Oh, but then there was too much option.
But what were you into? Like, what was your thing?
Like, obviously, UK garage. Like hip hop, like R&B. And there was all sorts, even like some of the boy band stuff were quite good. You know what I mean? I'm gonna cut that bit out. But you know, but you know what I mean? There was a lot. Today's music's like it's kind of like narrowed down because hip hop is dead. Like I don't care who says it's not. It's just basically some nonsense. It's more about UK music now. It's popping big time. And you have people like Stormzy and you got like, but now it's like what's happening now is like they just sound, they're closing up the like coming in like same sound now. What's that song called where he did the I can't remember the track.
Who's it by?
They do that funny dance.
Funny dance? What, Pop Smoke?
It's
not Pop Smoke, is it? Is it UK or US?
UK. Yeah.
And they do a funny dance to it.
Oh, what's the song called? It's quite a popular song.
Yeah, recent or
very recent. I think we'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But this doesn't sound like more and more the same.
See, the reason why I ask you is because, so outside of music, I work with a lot of young people around music. So, for example, because of the work I've done as a TA and as a teacher, I do freelancing work with young people, especially young people in care. Now, drill is their language.
100%.
Now, if you look at the socio-economic status of this country now, compared to when you were 14, it's different times.
Yeah.
Now we've got a huge underbelly of young people who come from very poor backgrounds.
Yeah. Where
sounds like drill are their only language that they know. Like, I do like a sessions on a Thursday at Stretford. I'm telling you, 2.5 hours is not even a drill. I'm going to jug you up. No, I'm going to put you in a spliff. Like, that's all I'm hearing. But when I look at the kid, he's in care. His mum and dad are not around. he gets looked after by the government, and this is the only thing he can talk about because this is what he thinks he can identify with, because everything else is just soft. Because his life is actually really hard.
I know.
He might not be selling drugs or killing people, but his life is hard in a different way.
Yeah.
So when I completely understand it, man, to the outsider, Joe sounds like a bunch of nonsense, bro. Where's the melody? Where's the message? But it's none.
Pure aggression.
But what we also have to understand is that art imitates life and life imitates art. Some people say does it, but it actually does from my perspective. And it's like when I work with these young people and I see all of them, I'm like, it makes sense. It makes sense why you want to talk like this. Because you're poor, your mum and dad were poor, their mum and dads were poor, and it's alright, cool, this is the only way you know how to express yourself. Yeah. But it's my job to tell you, bro, try and spit over this R&B beat, innit? Try and spit over this hip-hop beat. Because I know you can do the fast 140 BPM. If you do 70 BPM, which is half, I know you can do this. Yeah. And they do it. And you'd be amazed at these 13-year-olds rapping so intricately. I'm like, yo, maybe I need to retire. Maybe I need to put it up now. But yeah, that's why I was asking, because I think maybe it's a bit of like age thing, but it's also kind of just understanding, yo, why would young people want to hear that, man? Yeah. Why? Why do you think it's so popular? There's a reason.
I know.
Yeah. How does it feel like going from just making beats, behind the scenes in high school, college, attending youth centers, and eventually investing into your own studio, and now having tracks out there on the mainstream media kind of thing, on the BBC Extra? What was that transition like?
Hard work, hard work, because essentially up until 25, 24, I wasn't really ready. I wasn't mature enough as an artist and as an adult. But once I actually made the step and released my first body of work, which is called Winter, which is out now, I kind of opened myself up to the world, good and bad. So if you go through the YouTube comments, you'll see, Mr. Hassan, he went from teaching to rapping, oh my God, to like, oh my God, he's amazing, to this Somalian guy with a big forehead needs to allow it. Like, you get all of it. So I had to be mature enough to understand I'm going to get good with bad in it. Yeah. So the transition was one I was kind of preparing myself for my whole life, but also understanding that whatever message and whatever branding I put forth now, I have to live with that for eternity. And, kind of looking from the inside out, like, I had to travel to London more often. I had to speak to labels more often, understand the music business side of things, understand, I'm basically saying I'm a commodity, just like oil. How can we get the value up so that people come to see me and pay 10 quid, 20 quid to come see me or to stream my music? Because today's model of selling music is abysmal. From one stream on Spotify is 0.003. Damn. Do you know what I mean? So most of the money is made in live shows and merchandise. So the transition was one where I'd done so much research and done so much kind of thinking about it and dreaming about it. When it actually happened, I was present. Yeah. I wasn't just like in a dream state where I was like, oh my God, I'm in the Sony building. Oh my God, it's all coming true. It was like, I'm in a Sony building and they're giving me just £500 to make a video.
So are you signed to them or are you not? Are you doing independent?
I'm just doing single deals right now.
Oh, okay.
So the first deal I did was for Deen. Okay. And how that came about is I had a show in London. The manager I was working with at the time was high school friends with someone who's an A&R in the Sony building, and they came to see me. They liked what they saw, and then they passed the word around, because the way it works is Sony UK is one building, but they have different companies within, all kind of competing with each other to be the best, but they're all owned by one, which is Sony. And I met one of those labels and played some more songs, and I played him Deen. Now the story behind Deen is a weird one. I made Deen right after I shared a studio with a friend, and friend has been Abnormal Sleeps. Shouts out to you, my guy. Our studio got broken into. Oh. Yeah, studio got broken into, and a laptop was taken, and some other stuff. Funny enough, by some Somali kids, which is just very ironic. You know what I mean? It's very ironic and bittersweet, but it's like, whatever, it's fine. We managed to get the laptop back, but I made the tune right after that. Because I felt like, rah, space just got violated, man. Because the door got kicked in, and we weren't there. So it's like,
It's good that you got your laptop back though.
Yeah, we got the laptop back, but it's just one of the things where I had this energy in me. I had to get it out.
Now I understand your lyrics a bit more.
Yeah. Now I understand where the aggression
me.
comes from, because I was like, yo, I do not feel right about someone coming in and taking stuff from me. I don't do that to others, so why would you do it to me?
No, seriously, I'm actually.
It's clicking, innit?
It's click. There's so when you say come for me and all that. Now it's making sense to me now.
Yeah, so I'd made it and put it away, because music and emotion for me are like two sides to the same coin. So when I played the tune to the A&Rs and Sony, and they were like, we love this, we want this. And I'm like, yo, I don't even like this, you know. I don't even like it, but you want it. All right, cool, let's make it happen. They try making me sign on the same day, and I was like, yo, we'll try that. Send the paperwork, yeah, and then we'll do it then. Do you know what I mean? But I love you guys. No, but love you, get me. But it's just one of the things where I was like, yo, I've got to keep my eyes wide open.
Do you think it's better for you to just do a song by song, or do you think it's beneficial if it was the other way around, or you be
Allah knows best, you know. Allah knows best, because it both has its perks.
Because it is a tough market to be in.
Super tough, especially when you're Somali. Like Sherry from Sweden are doing way better when it comes to Somali artists in the UK. Because right now, Somali people and the Somali culture, like, our language is cool. Askar, Birisan Basto, you know, whatever is being used in rap right now, it's cool. But to see a Somali person saying it right now, it's not quite bubbled through yet. So when people will see me...
I like it.
100%.
I like it.
But if you're 14, 13...
I think when you begin your track on Deen, you were like, in a muddy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that. It's like you just kind of rolled in really nice. You know what, I'm going to put that song up so you can actually listen to it.
Yeah, no, listen to it. Give it a spin.
Definitely.
Because I'd appreciate it. But I just think, and I spend most of my time thinking about music, thinking about the industry. It's just a timing thing. It's a timing thing, because
I think it's a good time right now, though.
Yeah, me too. And it's just about figuring out a nice balance. I think what would work best for me is a distribution deal, because record deal is basically Asad gives me £1 million for me to make a record, but Asad owns it.
Yeah.
I can make the record myself. Just help me get it to people.
To sell it.
Yeah.
That's it.
I've done the hard part. Just market it.
So if you sign to, let's say like you said, I give you the £1 million and I own the record. When are you touring? Are they still involved?
It depends.
Or that's yours as well?
It depends on the structure of the deal. You could say, Hamdi, I'm giving you £1 million now.
Just to record, or to say,
if your face pops up there,
yeah,
I want 50%. Ooh. If your T-shirt pops up here, I want 50%. If you're on stage on World Cup, I need 50%. It depends. It depends on what you negotiate.
So the deals like that are happening.
Oh yeah, they call 360s. 360.
Yeah.
So wherever you go as an artist, even your likeness, how your face is, even your name, Asad, I own it all, because I've given you, or you own HMD or Hamdi because you've given me £1 million. So this is how sometimes these deals are structured, but it's all about what you negotiate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
And a lot of people like in the music industry are not smart enough to get around that kind of situations.
No, when you're 15, 14, you get told, I'm going to give you enough money for you to retire your mum and buy a house. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. But alhamdulillah, I've been doing this for long enough, and I feel like one of the reasons why Allah has put me on this journey, and I'm not like super famous or anywhere near that right now, is that I'm building my own thing. So when it's time to actually go that far, then I'll be ready to kind of have a deal that will support me in that way, but also allow me to have ownership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
So it's a ongoing transition, and I'm nowhere near the end, I'm nowhere near the start, really. It's just kind of just me surviving day to day and just trying to be the best version of myself that I can be. However cliche that sounds, you get me?
Now that you've got some content out there in the real world, and now you're at you're in this journey where you're starting to maybe do live gigs.
Yeah.
What was your first ever stage show like to your most recent one?
When people doing your singing with your lyrics as well.
Where was the first one? How many people? Did you even go?
Yo, I'm gonna try my best not to incriminate myself.
Please don't do that.
Yeah.
We don't want that.
So, my first show that I got billed, so actually on the bill, was at Contact for Black History Month, and I was one of the openers. I was the last opener before.
What year is this?
2015.
Okay.
Stage 1.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Big stage.
Yeah. Big stage retros.
So I did that, and yeah, I don't remember much. I was gonna leave it at that. I don't remember much because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was no rider left. The rider got done. So if you know what a rider is, you know what I'm on about. But yeah, it was a good night, but I don't remember much. But the best show, or one of the most recent shows, was a sold out night at Night and Day on Oldham Street. I had like 250 people in there.
That's in Manchester.
In Manchester, yeah. And yeah, Deen was fresh out.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one online.
Yeah, it was a crazy night. Crazy, yo.
I've seen that
Everyone
one.
was singing that song, yo. It's crazy. Like the whole place got torn up.
Wow.
Yeah, the whole place got torn up. It was me, Greg, Toby did a tune with me, Sleeps did a tune with me.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it was good. It was like a local night. It's like very local.
I've seen the energy of that.
Yeah. It was mental. It was like the first time I'd actually felt that energy of like releasing a tune, it connecting instantly, and it's like crazy. But also Reading and Leeds was a like a highlight too. Like driving into a big festival and going around the back and seeing the back end of the festival. It's crazy. And having the wristbands and going to the back end. I lost my wristband after the show. So we had to go to the production hub, which is right next to the main stage, to get a new one. So when I got the new one, I was like, yo, we're just gonna chill. Seen Post Malone, seen Young T and Bugsy, seen AJ Tracy, and we were just there chilling. Just by the main stage, and I was like, just looking at the main stage thinking, yo, soon come inshallah, soon come. Massive, you know.
Yeah.
Reading Leeds, massive, fam. Massive, and it was hot. So yeah, those are the highlights, man. But like all the shows before that, it's like just training, innit? It's like turning up for training.
Yeah.
Every day, turning up. And the thing is, like, this is what I've chosen to do. Like most Somali people be like, right, man, you know, وقتها عياريسا. أدو تلمك هاد جري وتنو حوي جهنمي وحبال بوشيجي يا موقتها. And it's like, I just believe every person has a mission. Whether it be
a journey.
Yeah, whether it be medicine, whether it be music, whether it be spinning balls at Circus LA, I don't know.
Do you think the Somali people, like especially the people that were trying to tell you don't do this, if you were doing a Somali music, what would they say? Something different?
It'd be different because it's more familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, because Somali, I know a lot of guys who sing Somali songs. No one said anything to them.
Yeah, but the thing is, what a lot of Somali people don't understand is that we've always had space for everyone.
Yeah.
We've had space for everyone. If you're very religious, there's space for you. If you're not so religious, there's space for you. We've been, since the dawn of time, we've been people who've been very, very balanced.
And you know what? Yeah, I think what's our natural talent as Somali people? Poets.
Yeah.
It's in our DNA.
Yeah. Telling a story.
Yeah, because we like it's called gabayas anyway. That's what we do naturally. It is kind of music anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why it's a shocking when you see a Somali.
It's just, you know what it is, yeah? It's the residue of the Civil War and having to leave. I mean, now we've got third generation, fourth generation Somalis diaspora.
Yeah.
And that residue isn't as, prevalent. But like the first generation, second generation, like that residue of leaving somewhere and going to somewhere that's foreign. Bro, even your own shadow, you're like, I don't recognize this place. So if you don't do as I say, then you're gonna go. You're not my child, or you're not someone I'm gonna, because I brought you from somewhere that was really dangerous, and I've risked my own life, and now you're gonna go against what I want you to do. So I understand that, but in that Baghdad, we've forgotten that we've had so many different people. Somali people are some of the oldest people on earth.
True.
Oldest people on earth. Like if you study some of the books that have been written about Somali people, like Tarikh Somalia, it's like if you know Abdursalah, like your last name and you keep going back. If you know further back enough, there's certain names you'll start to hear that don't even sound Somali. That don't even sound Somali. That's Somali hore. Pre-Arab.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the moment in time, like it's the most interesting topic at the moment, isn't it? Where they're looking at the drawings in Somalia, and the caves they found, the golden caves and stuff like that. So, I mean, we're like the vampires, the father of vampires, like when it comes to bloodline, when it comes to the human race. We are one of the oldest people, if any. Which is fantastic anyway. So
I love it, man.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it's like even though, like, just I don't want to. I'm not a scientist here, but like like blood type O.
Oh yeah.
We're like naturally O type.
Yeah.
And we can give blood to anyone.
So you've got a song that's called Deen.
Yeah.
Which means.
It means it's got a few meanings, but essentially the Deen, the name for me, I mean the meaning of Deen is like the direct translation is religion.
Did you not think maybe what led to that?
What led to that? So up until I was making a tune, I had this whole thing of like, I need to be on my Deen. I need to do the work in it. It was like a metaphor. Rather than saying quite direct, literal, I need to be on my Deen and go to the mosque. I was like, I need to be on my Deen. I need to go work out. I need to go studio and crack on. So I was saying that for time. All my friends started saying it. It just became a saying.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'd get to I had a studio at Salford in a mill, and there's a few of us.
I don't know if I heard this before, but like, was it Skepta who said it? On your Deen.
Yeah, he might have said that as well.
He said it as well.
Yeah, he definitely has said it as well.
I just got put it out.
Yeah. He's definitely said it. Yeah. The red, white, or green. You're not on your Deen.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. So like, it just became a saying.
Yeah.
It's just like being focused, being dedicated, being committed to something.
Yeah.
And kind of just not removing the religious connotation, but kind of expanding it.
Yeah.
It's street language, isn't it?
How was that perceived to someone who is, let's say, religious?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had
music.
I had it all.
Yeah.
I had it like, bro, haram. Stop. For real, because it's like, when you put music like that out there, you are asking to be judged.
Yeah. True.
So like, for me as an artist, I feel it's my responsibility to bring up the duality of life of being a Muslim, especially a melanated Muslim in a Western society. We're here, so we're going to have to deal with what Western society brings to us. And that's the great area that I love to work in. And I'm only just getting started.